Welcome back to the Black Line Blueprint. Today we have a special episode. I am here with one of my athletes, pro MMA fighter Steph Stone Cold Calderon. What's up, Steph?
What up, coach? What up?
And yeah, congratulations on your big win. Another big win.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, how are you feeling right now? Like, just yeah, I see you got a big smile on your face. So
Yeah, everything is pretty surreal. It's kind of crazy that I get to live this life. Uh, I feel good. I feel excited for the next one. Honestly, me, I'm ready for whatever's next, but I feel good.
that's good. Good to hear. Good to hear. So just walk me through it. Let's go. Let's go through the fight. So what was going through your mind when you stepped in, as you walked out? Just talk me through
Oh
it.
man. So nobody likes a sore winner, but um, it honestly, I felt like I didn't get to show nothing really. Even though it was like when you look at it, it's a great performance, but I was in my head a lot about this one. This one was tough. I had a tough weight cut. Um, yeah, I learned a lot about myself leading up to this fight. It's kind of like why I posted what I posted about my journal, like in my journal entry. It was a lot of me in my head, and there was a lot to overcome backstage. And even in the moment, uh, I was confident in my preparation. It was just, weight cuts are dangerous, and if you do them incorrectly, it can cost you. You can end up being knocked out. It takes a
Yeah.
lot to get that back to your brain. So I was kind of nervous leading up to it because that was the toughest weight cut I had. Not to say that, I did deplete. It was just like the toughest one I've ever had. So in my mind, I'm like, man, this is an obstacle. But I learned a lot about myself. That when I think when I think that's all I had, there's still more. And I learned actually like I'm tougher than I thought I was. Um, I persevered, and really it's me versus me. I learned a lot about myself throughout this camp too. Like I don't compete well like when it comes to like compete against others well. It's more like a me versus me thing day in and day out, and that's what motivates me. So yeah, I learned a lot about myself. And then once I make the walk, I'm out there, and then Stone Cold comes out, and then it's like, all right, I'm here. I started to get in my bag. It took me a little while. It took me about 2 minutes to get in my bag. And then I'm like, all right, we're here now. Now I see the finish. I smell the blood in the water, and then I ended up getting that towel thrown in. I was confused too. I'm like, wait, why y'all pulling me off? I see
I
her
saw
coach
the
come
face.
in they came in with her seat, and I'm like, hey Vince, you gonna come in here and coach me? He's like, bro, they threw the towel. I'm like, oh, it's over. I got it. I thought the round was done, and I'm like, why is Vince not coming in here? I need some instruction, bro. But yeah, excited to have another towel thrown in too, because I feel like such a rarity in this sport. Like people don't typically do that. So to have it thrown in twice, 2 times in a row, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just I saw that confusion on your face. At first,
Yeah,
I was just like, okay, she has no clue like the towel had got thrown in because I think it had got thrown in like right behind you or something like that.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
didn't get to see it. And you just
Not at
like,
all. I'm like, I didn't hear the clacker, the 10 seconds. I didn't hear nothing. I'm
what?
like,
We got a
all
malfunction going on around here or something.
right. Yeah, something's going on. I had no
So
idea.
then once you finally found out that, oh, they threw the towel in, then you were just like, oh, okay, I'm celebrating now.
Oh yeah. I'm like, oh, I did it again? That's crazy.
It's like
Like somebody wanted to say
again,
hi.
number two.
Yeah.
Look, I'll tell you while I was watching the fight, the first few punches that landed, I'm like, here we go again. Here we go again. These girls aren't moving there. They're they're tough
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
they'll take the punches, but
Yeah.
you don't want to stand and take those punches.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the
That's the
problem.
problem. That's the
Yeah, too
problem.
tough for their own good sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I would rather you be scared and trying to like get out of the way of everything than to just
Yeah.
take those punches and be like, yeah, I'm taking it. I'm taking
Yeah,
it. Nah.
seriously. I think her
Your
her,
body,
her
your
coach did a
brain's
good
like,
job.
hey,
Yeah, her coach did a good job. He threw it in at the right time. I feel like even if the round would have finished, I don't think they would have let the fight continue. I typically don't look at the face. I typically like only look at body until I know you're hurt, and I've seen her face, and I'm like, oh, her eyes closing up. I just kept tagging it up. I knew it was only a matter of time. Then she started leaking. I'm like, oh, it's only a matter of time. They're not even gonna let this go. So I kind of like had an idea, but I just didn't know the towel was coming
Yeah. Yeah. That was I'm glad to see that, they threw it in when they did, and
in.
yeah,
Yeah,
because she seemed like she would have just kept, taking those shots. And the
for
ref over
sure.
here, I'm just like, sir, can you get in there? These are these are not I'm fighting back punches. These
Yeah,
are I'm
she's
just
a
throwing
warrior though.
something.
Yeah, get her off of me. Stay
Yeah.
back. That's what those were.
Yo. So was there a moment like early on, because you said it took you about like 2 minutes, right? Like it took you 2 minutes. But then was it during those 2 minutes after some things started to connect that you were just like, okay, like I'm in a flow now? Or was it just like you kind of had your foot movement and everything, your placement, your rhythm down? What was it?
So I felt like I was struggling, even in the back. I was struggling to find my range. We're like going over stuff. I'm like, damn, I feel like too close. I was already in my head, and I'm a people watcher. So like, Phoenix comes up to me and he gives me like this talk, and I'm like, damn, I'm not hiding it well because he don't ever give me this kind of talk. So like, I'm really like all in my head. I'm like, damn, they see it. They see that I'm off. I know that I'm off, and now I'm seeing that they know that I'm off. So it was just like a vicious cycle, but I already knew, like, I'm like, I can't find my distance. I felt good, like, in the pocket when I was warming up with Phoenix, but when it came to, like, keeping her on the outside of my punches, I felt like I really couldn't find my range or anything, like keeping her at the end of my punches. But then once she shot the first time and I stuffed the takedown, then I feel like that built my confidence a little bit. And then I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm in my bag. The range started coming, and I felt like, all right, this is it. Like it was once I stuffed that first takedown, I'm like, oh, all right, we good. Like once I feel your strength on me, and I'm like, oh,
Oh,
way stronger than you. Yeah, I got this. I just got to see it coming. I'm I'm stronger than you, and like I felt confident after that, and I know that brings her confidence down too when your shot gets stuff. So
hmm
like mine went up, hers went down, and then that was it. I was in my bag. Then once I see
yeah.
the blood in the water, oh my god, then my confidence really starts going up. Then you're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense too, because it's just like, okay, you get that shot, they go in, they miss it, they don't get the takedown, but you get to feel like, oh, okay, I'm definitely not worried about this anymore. It's like, all right,
Yeah,
cool. Now we can flow a little bit more. We don't even have to think too much about the
yeah,
takedown.
exactly.
Yeah, gotcha. So you didn't even know it was about to be finished. So there is no like, oh, when it was about to be over, it was just like towel thrown in. Did you
Yeah.
feel like at any point the ref was about to stop it?
No, because typically they'll tell us like, "Hey, fighter, fight back." Usually they'll say that, and then you know, like, okay, this is about to end. I just gotta keep going, even if I'm just touching. Like typically they'll tell us that. I really had no idea, and like I said, I didn't hear the clacker. I didn't know how much time I had left. All I know is like I didn't want to blow my gasket because, like I said, I had a rough weight cut. So I didn't want to blow my gasket. I'm like, okay, I heard Vince say 90 seconds. I knew how my body was feeling at that moment, and I'm like, okay, I need to take my time, pick her apart, and then I just started teeing off, and then I could see, like I said, I see it in her eyes, but I didn't feel like the ref was gonna stop it. Usually they'll let us go. Like at this point, we're professionals. We want to go out on our sword for real. Like as an amateur, yeah, maybe they would have stopped it, but as a professional, I didn't expect him to stop it, and I didn't expect the towel either. Honestly, that girl got a lot of fights. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when I heard her, I was like, damn, she got that many
Yeah.
fights on
Yeah, and
her?
that was a big name for me to have on my resume for real because she's fought like two girls that are top 10 in the UFC now, and that's Erin Blanchfield and Jasmine Jazz Divisius. Yeah, so this was like a big fight for me to have like a big win for me to come away with for real.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I know what the eyes are on right now, and I know like the speech afterwards, everything, the momentum,
Yes,
the momentum that's being built right
yeah,
now. I see where it is, so I get that.
Yeah, I be
So
seeing it too, but I be trying to reel myself in because I don't ever want to get too like people be like, "Yo, you so good." I'm like, I be trying to humble myself. I don't
mhm,
ever want to go out there. Anything can happen in there, you know.
yeah, yeah, you don't look past the next opponent, right?
Exactly.
You're just looking at that next opponent you have. You're just like, okay, this is what's in front of me right now. There is
Yes.
nothing else. Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, definitely reeling yourself back in for sure. Because once again, like you said, you never know what can happen. I was watching
Right.
some of them fights, and I'm just like, oh, this guy's going, whoa, what the? No, it was
Oh yeah.
last weekend. It was last weekend. One guy, he literally looked like he was about to knock the guy out. Guy came back, hit him with one,
Yeah.
knocked him out cold, and he just like,
Yeah.
what happened? So
Yeah. You
you
got to be
just
careful.
never know in MMA. One shot.
They saying
That's
a
it.
wounded animal is the worst. A wounded animal is the most dangerous. Yo, that's why I be trying to. That's why it's so important to know that range because I'm like, yo, because she could just swing one wild one and clip me.
Hmm.
I'm like, I need to take my time, pick her apart. Then when I'm ready, I'll go.
Yeah, that's something I noticed about you recently. And from when I first saw you fight to up until now, like you're way more methodical about how you're approaching it. You're more dialed in. Yeah, it may seem like, oh, they're like, oh, she's about to get into it right now, but it's you establishing your position and then you're picking your shots.
Yeah.
Is that something that you and Vince worked on? Or like was it just something that you kind of changed about like the way that you were gonna approach it?
I don't think it's something we worked on necessarily. Uh, No, I think it's just I heard it one time on an interview. I watched like a lot of interviews of fighters because I like to get into like the mental aspect of it because like sometimes you can feel really alone. Like as a fighter, you can feel really alone. Like not a lot of people do this. So like I listened to those interviews and I remember hearing that one time and they're just like, yo, like a wounded animal is the most dangerous. And I'm like, damn, there's a lot of times I put these people's backs on the cage and they can feel like they're in danger and swing and I really don't want to be on the opposite end. Like I don't want to be them. Like I'd rather be me. So I really try to be smart about it. And honestly, I think it's some that's just something about me. Like you know, I've been playing the PlayStation, right? So bro,
Yeah.
I've been playing The Last of Us and sometimes I'm avoiding like the game, the whole part of the game, I'm avoiding. I'm like, damn, you're taking this too serious. Like it's a game, Steph. Like get back in there and do it. Like you'll respawn exactly where you left off if you die.
Right, right.
But I'm
Yeah.
literally like that. Like I take it real serious. I'm real. Like I'm just that type of person, really. And it just like I feel like bled over into MMA for
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, once again, it would be something that, oh yeah, like she's more like dialed in with it now, or she developed something else. It was just so you just changed your mindset and
real.
just kind of taking that cautionary tale. And it's not even, I won't consider it more so a fear thing. I would consider it more so just like being smart, like
Yeah,
upgrading your skills,
yeah,
perception, understand what's going on. Like this person is still alert and they can still throw anything that could
exactly,
just clip you and knock you out. So, yeah,
exactly.
I mean, if you
Fight
see it in the,
IQ.
yeah, yes, yeah. If you see it in the UFC, in any of the higher promotions, the most skilled strikers, even when they have their opponent like backed up against the cage, they look like they're about to go out. They're still picking their shots.
Yeah,
They're not just over here just throwing. Those are the guys that are just throwing are the guys that got a lot of power and they're
yeah,
just like going at it, right?
yeah,
Because they know it's like I hit him with one more and he's out. But
yeah.
the people with that higher fight IQ, they're just picking their shots. They're just like, nope, you're not about to get a lucky swing and hit me. Yeah, so yeah, no, I that's good. I feel like it's an upgrade into your game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. And but I don't
So,
like to rely like solely on the power neither. Like, cause everybody
hmm
like I feel like as an amateur, everybody's like, "Oh, Steph got a right hand." I'm like, "Damn, but I'm good, bro. Like, I do got power, but I'm good for real. Like, let me show you." So I just be trying to show it. Like, I'm a smart fighter, and I have power.
right, right. That's something I was thinking about too before we got on here. I was like, you know what? I know there are more things that you have because I've seen you sparring and I've
Yeah,
seen you doing your pads and everything. And I'm just like, this could be an advantage for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like people don't know all the tools that you have in your tool
Oh,
belt. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like you got a lot
saying.
more. Let's just say in your bag. You got a lot more in the
Yeah.
bag that people don't know yet.
I'm
So
saying. They
that
think
is
I'm
an
a
advantage.
striker. Yeah.
Hmm. And until they actually try and take you down and get you up against the they're just like, oh, she's strong too.
Yeah. Facts. Like shit.
But we won't
My whole
we
plan.
won't put anything out there for the world to hear. You know, we'll just let them find out. We'll just let them find out. But
Smart. Yeah.
I know you have way more tools in your tool bag.
Yeah.
It's just gonna take the right person to pull those things out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
Um, so yeah, and I did see in the past two fights, you started implementing that elbow that I was seeing.
Uh-huh. You see
Yeah,
me? I
yeah,
like that
yeah.
thing. I like it a lot. I want to hit a spinning one. Maybe the next fight. I'll hit a little
Oh,
spinning back
shit.
elbow.
Spinning back.
Yeah. I want to do something cool.
Okay, okay, yeah. We'll keep that one under wraps. We won't let people know what's going on with that one. I'll clip that out so they can be surprised, and then I'll throw that back in there and be like, "Hey, she said she
I
wanted to
told
do
you.
it, and here she hit that."
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh man. Yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking about after the fight. Like after I watched it, I was just like, oh man, she has way more that people don't get to see yet, and it's really just to your advantage right now for the opponents
Yeah.
that you have upcoming because they don't really know. All they know is the game plan for that. They don't know what else you have to game plan for.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so let's talk about some of the preparation going up into it. So what part of your training camp or prep do you feel like made the biggest difference this time? It wasn't. It was a really quick turnaround. So.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Like even watching it back, I'm my toughest critic. I text Vince like once I got the password and the link, and I'm like, hey, like I'm happy that we got to finish, but I feel like I didn't get to show nothing. I'm happy with stuff in the takedowns. It felt like really reminiscent of the first one, and I really wanted to show more, so I really didn't get to show more.
Yeah.
But the preparation has always been the same for real. I take it serious every time, from the strength and conditioning now with the physical therapy as well, the striking, the jujitsu, everything. And I feel like I've always trained like a professional, so I wouldn't say anything necessarily has changed. And try to get more dialed in on my nutrition this time around and try new things. And, you know, eh, trying new things, I've done, this is what, my 12th fight. 11 times I've done it the same way, but now I'm trying to do better things and see if we could do things better. But we changed some stuff up, and now we've got like some things that work and don't work, and I can use that moving forward. So if I could say anything about the preparation, is just like I learned a lot about just the nutrition and about my body in that sense. But other than that, everything else we pretty much kept the same. The strength and conditioning, the PT, the mitts, everything's still the same. We train like a professional all the time.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Because like I said, it was a big turnaround. I mean a quick turnaround, not a big turnaround. But yeah, it makes sense to where it wasn't too many crazy transitions or we're gonna try this now because there's not enough time to go
Mm-hmm.
off rhythm. You want to stay in rhythm.
Yeah,
And not caring like, oh, is this new thing that I'm trying like gonna mess with me during my fight now or like the
right,
prep going into it, right?
right.
Um, yeah, because I remember you telling me like some weeks ago, and you were trying to like just implement a few new things and just like, hey, let's try this, or what about this? Ask me these questions, and it's good to just start to do those little small adjustments and then see what works there. But then you having more time would definitely allow you to try different things. So it was smart on your part to not try and just overhaul, just like, okay, we did good. We want to do better. Let's add
Yeah,
all these things in. So
yeah. I'm right back
smart on
on
your
my vitamins too.
yeah.
Immediately, okay? You'll be happy to know I took them this morning. Everything you recommended.
um so where besides like, the weight cut, were there any other obstacles behind the scenes you had to push through,
Just
or was,
the
things pretty
mental.
smooth? Just mental?
Just mentally, yeah. Like the weight cut got to me mentally. I feel like I was in my head about that. But like I said, I feel like the rehydration, everything went fine. Something I got under control that we spoke about a lot actually, and you just like I'm just now it's coming to me. Um, my gut issues leading up
Mm,
to like man, I didn't usually. You feel nervous, butterflies. You in the toilet every couple of minutes, trying to get whatever. Bro, I feel like I got that down, down. Like the rehydration was beautiful, the refuel was beautiful, no energy drinks, like just everything. That whole process was super smooth, super smooth. I
wow.
felt good. Yeah.
What was it? Was it with Thais like helping you kind of dial that in, or did you change something up? Like what?
So like, man, I've had some bad like rehydrations. So like I've
Mhm.
never had like a bad cut, but like rehydrating, I get super overzealous. I'm like, one time we went to all you can eat sushi, and I'm like, challenge accepted, all I can eat. And this is before the fight. I'm like,
Oh,
let's go. I'm messing up the sushi next day. I'm like, coach, I can't clinch this girl because if she needs me and I pull myself,
yo,
I'm about to get disqualified. Like,
yo,
yeah, like I've done stuff like that. My relationship with food is terrible, but
yeah,
getting that dialed in, like learning, man, this whole thing is just like learning about yourself for real. Like I've through 12 fights, I've learned what's working and what's not working, what's upsetting my stomach and what's not. And now I got it down, and I just do the same thing. But we at first watch the next morning. The opponent, any of my opponents, the next morning fight day, you can catch me at first watch. The closest first watch to the venue, that's where you're gonna see me. I'm eating first watch, and it's the
Oh,
same thing every time.
are we hearing a sponsorship deal here? First
Oh,
watch?
I
Are you
need
are you
I
looking
need a
into this?
first watch, and I need a towel sponsor. I need a towel sponsor ASAP. Maybe with like Target, we get a towel line or something. Bathroom line.
Yo, gotcha. What are you getting from first watch?
I'm getting a big pancake. Then I get the bocado. I get the eggs, bacon, avocado, sourdough toast with the greens on the side. Morning meditation. Two of them with the beet juice. Oh my.
Okay.
I just be trying to do everything good for my blood. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's get it back. But I've like I said, I listened to a lot of interviews too. Like obviously listen to what Thais said, listen to my coaches firsthand.
Hmm.
Also, like you as well.
Yeah.
But then I hear like Ilya Taporia talk, and he's a champion. And something I implemented this time as well was like he said he doesn't start eating foods until he starts peeing after the rehydration. So he will not snack on anything until he starts peeing. So I'm like, I told Vince, I'm like, hey, I want to try that. I want to hydrate myself, and once I start peeing, then we'll go grab some food. Boom, that worked beautifully. And then he says, don't worry about not don't worry about, but your main things that you're wanting to get back food wise are your carbs. You're not so worried about your proteins. I had protein all week. I had fats all week. What I cut out all week was the carbs. So
Hmm.
making sure I'm getting them carbs back into me, and just also a big thing for me was timing. I learned a lot over these last 12 fights. I'm not a fast digester. So if I'm going to eat that big meal, it's going to take me a couple hours to digest it. And then I know, boom, I can start picking. And now we're off to the venue, and my stomach's doing good, and I'm not really worried about that. So I just
Yeah.
try to do that as well. And I feel like I finally got that dialed in beautifully.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, people can take a lot from that and understanding like, hey, it might take some time to figure out how your body specifically responds
Yeah.
to these protocols because it's not going to be
Certainly.
the same for everybody. And you had to realize, okay, yeah, I don't digest food as well.
Yeah.
So I need a little bit more time, X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Important to know your body.
Yes, sir. But I get like I'm able to pay attention to this stuff because of like you, Vince, Thais, like you guys bring that to the forefront. Like, yo, this is important. Like you need to pay attention to this stuff. So I got
Yeah.
notes in my phone. Man, I'm a type A, so I'm like everything's written down. I got it.
If there's one thing I noticed about the fighters that are consistent, the ones that like actually show up prepared and you make your way, get to the fight, you're locked in. are the ones that have a solid foundation,
Hmm.
whether that's your schedule, whether that's the way that your sleep schedule, your nutrition, your training schedule, like the ones that are actually showing up consistently and making all the right decisions are the ones that have some type of consistency with the scheduling.
Yep.
That's what I've seen so far.
It's important. You can't. How can you focus on one thing when you're thinking about everything? Like it's impossible. You can't give something 100%. I feel crazy if I'm not like writing stuff down. And like this week coming up, you know it's about to be hard for me to take this week off. You know me and my schedule.
Like I told you, that's why I put that training session in there.
Yeah.
You got some training that's in there, so it's all good.
Thank
I
you.
know from the other stuff, like yeah, you might be taking off, but yeah, you still have
Yeah.
training in there, so
Yes,
you'll be
sir.
good. So, what would you say is like the biggest lesson you're taking away from this performance? And again, like I know it was so quick of a turnaround. It was really similar to the previous fight. I
Mhm.
watched it and I'm seeing it happen almost exactly like the previous fight, except for more takedown attempts,
Mhm.
right? That, but besides everything kind of feeling like the first fight, what do you feel like would be the biggest lesson you're taking away from this performance?
That I am more resilient than I thought I was. I have more in me than I thought I did. I'm tougher than I thought I was. I really learned a lot about myself. Not even anything when it comes to like MMA. It's just like about me mentally, in my spirit. Like I'm way tougher than I thought I was, and I got more in me than I thought I did.
Yeah, that's huge.
For
The
sure.
biggest thing is like believing in yourself.
For sure. Oh, for
That's it.
certain. That's the first. That's when I know I got them. Honestly, when I look across that cage and I'm in there, and you don't want to make eye contact with me, I'm like, yeah, I got you. You're already non-confidence. Oh,
Yeah.
but confidence is key for real. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe in your preparation, your training. I feel good going in there because I truly believe in the programs that you write for me. I believe in the training that Vince has given me. I really believe in all my coaches, and that really does give me the confidence to go out there and feel prepared. Honestly, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe in that aspect too. And that's what I always try to reinforce and say that if you feel good in your body, right? Like it has to be clues that what you're doing is right, at
Hmm.
least for you. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So what as if you get those clues that what you're doing is right and is working for you, then that helps with your confidence going into the next thing that you're doing, you
Yep.
know? So that's a
Yep.
big thing for me is like it am I doing the right things for you? Am I writing the right program for you to feel good? You feel confident, you feel fresh, you feel strong, right? You feel strong when somebody's trying to
Yes.
take you down. You know,
Yep.
you can actually function. You don't have anything that's hurting, aching leading up to that fight. You know, a lot of
Yep.
one of my biggest things is just like if I can reduce the amount of strain that you feel on your body leading into the fight. That's gonna allow you to have more confidence.
Yep.
Because if you go
That's a
into a
fact.
fight and you feel something like kind of, oh, it's just like, oh, is this gonna hold up like during like quite a few striking exchanges? You know, oh, this
Yeah.
is feeling kind of wonky. You know, if they try and take me down, am I gonna be able to? Right? You don't want to be thinking about that type of stuff,
Yep.
right?
Yep. And it's funny because me and Vince talked before it, and we were even there, and Vince was like, "Dang, like this is you didn't have any like injuries. I mean, even though it was a short camp, it's 5 weeks. We turned right around. He was like, "Dang, you didn't have like any injuries or anything this camp. It was perfect." And then obviously that was right before the tough weight cut because it can
Hmm.
never be perfect. There's always
Right,
going to be
right.
an
Like,
obstacle. But he was like, "Yo, you didn't have like any injuries or nothing aching like this camp." I'm like, "Nah, it was like smooth sailing." So we actually did realize that leading up to it.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
good.
that's good. And once again, that gives me confidence in knowing like what we're doing is the right thing. You know what I mean? At
Hmm.
least at this point, because things always evolve, always change. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
might start doing more intense training. You might change up the skills that you have to work on, so your body may be taking more stress. So we got to make some
Yeah.
adjustments there. But
Yeah.
I won't get all into the whole science of it. But you know what I'm saying? It just
Yeah.
makes sense to where it's feedback. You do
Right.
something, you try it out, and it's feedback. I think I had
Right.
posted something recently. I reposted. It was Fred Duncan, another like strength and conditioning coach, and he was pretty much saying, it's easier to add. Well, this is my way of saying it. It's easier to stack on more training when you're not training enough than it is to kind of dig yourself out of a hole.
Mm.
When you've done too much.
Yeah.
And I kind of see, like, some strength and conditioning coaches, they might try and do way too much because they want to. It may be a pride thing. It may be them wanting to be the show, be like, no, no, we're doing all these different things. And they're just like, no, 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 no. They don't need that much. They just need
Mm-hmm.
some touches on this and this. Let them do their
Yeah.
thing with their sport, and you just be the support. When you need to be
Yeah.
the support, and when you need to be the show, then you be the show. But right now, like short training camp, like going into the next fight, I'm not the show. We're just maintaining here.
Yeah.
We're maintaining. So you get in there, you feel fresh, you feel good.
Yeah. That was perfect. How we did it this time, perfect.
Yeah. So what is next? What do we got coming up? At the end of the fight, you were just like, I'm gonna do it again in June.
Yeah, I meant that. I meant that. We kind of knew leading up to it that we'd be, depending how this fight went, that we'd be on the June 21st card for Combat Night over here in St. Pete. We got some. We had. I don't know about after yesterday. I don't know if they still on the table, but we had some people. Hopefully they accept. But Vince told me, hey, like whoever accepts, we'll take it. It's going to be kind of hard to find a fight. Hence why we had to fight somebody who had 12 fights. I'm 1-0 at the time, and it's hard to find somebody who's gonna want to fight me. So we'll see if they accept, but we do plan on getting back in there June 21st. Right now, my biceps a little sore from that fight. I don't know if I swung and maybe missed her head and maybe like hit it. It kind of feels like bruised, maybe. It's like I
Yeah.
can still move it, but it's pretty tight up there.
Yeah.
It's pretty uncomfortable. So taking the week off, letting that do what it got to do. Probably get some work done. I was going to talk to you after about that. Maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
take a
Yeah.
look
We'll
at it. I
definitely
also
talk
hit up,
about that.
yeah. But yeah. So as long as everything's cool with that, and this is just like some soreness, some mild soreness, then we plan to be back in there June 21st and do it again for Combat Night. Same thing, hopefully.
This turnaround is crazy.
And like I'm 31 years old, so we got to keep the foot on the gas. My window is short. My body feels good. I don't have any, damage for real. I didn't take a lifetime
Yeah.
of, you know, beating on my body. I'm new to the sport, relatively
Yeah.
new to the sport. So as long as I'm fresh and nothing's going, we keeping that foot on the gas. We got somewhere to be.
Yeah.
Vegas.
I get it. That's what I was telling. I was talking to Brigida earlier, and I was just like, yeah, like with his age too, and I was just like, I get it, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a shorter window, time
Mm-hmm.
frame to try and make it to the big show. I get it. So
Yeah.
my job is just to make sure that y'all get there as healthy as possible.
I know we're making your job hard, but you're killing it,
Hard as
Fred.
hell.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie. It's hard as hell. Okay. These
Yeah.
other coaches out here want to talk about like, oh, performance and get faster and stronger and speed. I'm like, I just need them to get to the cage intact. How about that?
Yeah. Facts. Facts.
That's it.
You're doing it though. You're doing it, man. You got
Hey,
3 professionals that just went and got first round finishes in the last month. David, Thorne, me. You're doing it, dog.
Mo.
Mo. Forget about my dog Mo, bro. Forgot about my dog Mo. Can't even believe it. Yeah, him too. That was crazy. You got my dog strong.
I was telling somebody, the new name for the team is Team Lights Out.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, like we got 10 wins this year. 8 of them are finishes as a team. Insane.
Insane.
Insane. We getting good. The pieces
Wow.
are starting to.
It's like, what's going on over
Everything's.
there? What are they doing over there? Let me get the binoculars. Let me peek through
Yeah.
what's going on over there.
If they're in the area and they're not in our gym, man, they missing out, coach. They missing out.
Hey, look, they'll keep finding out.
No, for
as,
sure.
as the knockouts keep coming, they'll find out.
What is going on over there?
Yeah, they'll find out soon enough.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So June 21st, St. Pete is on deck.
Yes, sir.
It's not solidified, but it's in the queue.
Yeah. They gonna be
Okay.
looking, trust me. Hopefully I headline this card. That'd be dope. My
Ooh,
first main event.
yeah.
That'd be cool.
Ooh, that would be dope. That yeah. Fingers crossed. Fingers
It's gonna be a
crossed.
late night.
Yeah. Look, I'm over here like, man, my bedtime. Y'all messing it up. I gotta watch these
I
fights.
know you. Like I need my 8 hours.
But I'm not gonna be the one to wake up in the morning and be like, "Oh yeah, they won. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, great job, congratulations." It's like, nah, I gotta actually watch it happen in real time.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, but it's all good though. It's one night out of the week. It's fine. It's fine.
Yes, sir.
It was hard for me to fall asleep. I'm not gonna lie, but it's okay. It was only one night.
I appreciate you for tuning in.
Of course. So, what would you? It kind of jumping around here. What would you say? Without giving away any secrets or whatever, what would you say would be your toughest opponent? You know what I mean? Like, what characteristic would it take for you to have a tough fight?
Oh, I don't know. Every fight we've taken since the amateur was supposed to be like a tough fight. Honestly, to the point where like, yo, Vince would be like, yo, Steph, this is gonna be a tough fight. And in my head, I'm like, bruh, don't you want me to win? Why do you give me these tough fights? Like, you're supposed to be on my side. I truly used to feel like that. I'm like, why are you giving me tough fights? Don't you want me to win? What do I feel like would be a tough fight? I don't know. This I don't know, coach. I don't know. I'm not afraid of nothing. I feel comfortable everywhere for real. I really do. I feel comfortable everywhere. We fought wrestlers. This girl was a no gi world champion, brown belt. Like she was good. She was supposed to be good.
She decided to do the wrong thing. That's what happened.
Signing the contract is the wrong thing to do.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, reel me in, reel me in. I got reel me in. Now I don't know. Excuse me.
Okay. Okay. Because I heard as we were, because I was thinking myself and I was listening to the announcers and they were just like, yeah, I feel like it's gonna take somebody who's around like her height, maybe rangy as well. And I do remember some of the fighters that you did have that were a little bit rangy. They were able to like at least gain some ground. I'll put it that way, comparably speaking to some of these other girls. But again, it still the end result was still the same, but
Yeah.
it made it more of a tougher fight. Um, would you kind of agree with that analysis there?
Yeah, for sure. I just look at it like problem solving. So like when it might take me a little bit longer, like okay, yeah, she's a little longer. I don't typically fight people, that long. So it might take me a little longer, but I just look at it like problem solving. So it's just like it's only a matter of time before I figure it out. I don't even know that I would say it would be a tougher fight. Like these guys give me hell, coach. These guys in the gym on the
Yeah,
mats, they give me hell. It's like how like I can't imagine a woman in the cage being any better than these men that I'm training with, any stronger than them or anything. Like you see me, man. My sparring is horrible, bro. The person you
that's
see in the
yeah,
cage, you like if you see me on the mats, you would not think that. You see
yeah,
me get beat up. But
yeah. Yeah, I've watched quite a
I'm
few
not
times.
saying
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not saying that nobody's not gonna give me a hard time, but I think it's just a matter of time before I solve the problem.
yeah, yeah. Gotcha. All right, I love that. I love that response. That's going into them fights, the hard fights, and coming out like, All right, cool. More
Y-
confidence.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like more
yeah.
confidence in your skills, your abilities, your
Oh yeah,
resilience. Going in, leading into
yeah.
the fight now, you have more confidence in your planning. So then you don't have that on your mind. Like so much here is starting to click
So
for you, right? Would you
yeah,
agree?
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I was prepared for 15 minutes of a war with her. Like 12 fights is a lot of fights. You know, she's got a point to prove. She's, you know, on. I think she lost. That's her fourth in a row. So like I told Vince before going out there, you know, I always see the finish. Like we get grounded before we touch grass, and I like to put like I have a particular playlist that really gets me like in my feelings. Like fighting is super emotional for me. I'll start crying and stuff
Okay.
like that. But yeah, I told him I'm like I see the finish and I think it's gonna be. I told him like I think it's gonna be a left hook this time. Everybody's talking about my right hand, but I think it's gonna be a left hook. And I see like I see the finish, but I told him like I'm prepared to go 15 minutes with this girl because she's got a point to prove. You know, I'm only 1-0. You know, she's got to beat me. You know, she doesn't want to lose to somebody who's 1-0. So I was prepared for that, and yeah, that's how I try to go into all of them. Like in my mind, I know who I am. I'm confident in my skills, but I'm prepared to go 15 minutes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Hey, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, right?
Yep, for sure.
Gotcha. Cool, cool. So let's go into this lightning round really quick. You know, I like to ask some questions at the end, just 5 quick questions, keeping it fun.
Okay.
All right. So, what was your favorite part of camp or prep this time?
My favorite part of the prep this time. Um, Grappling. I learned a lot. Like I realized I'm really good at some of this stuff. My transitions are really well.
Okay.
When I get into these flow rounds, especially like with Carlos, I'm like, dang, I really realize like I know a lot more than I'm able to. You know, when I'm wrestling the guys, it's a lot of muscly stuff. Like they're gonna beat me to a lot of stuff in a lot of positions. So Vince likes to make sure I'm just doing the right things, and he's happy with that because there's a lot of times they're going to beat me to certain positions because they're men and they're stronger and
Yeah.
I'm the only girl and I'm the lightest person in the gym. So
Yeah.
for me, my favorite part of this camp is probably like feeling like I'm really getting good at jujitsu and I'm really like I'm really a mixed martial artist and I'm not just a striker.
Hell yeah. I like that. So, what's the hardest moment you had to push through? I mean, we
Uh,
already talked about that,
yeah,
right?
recouping from that weight cut. Yeah, and
That we
mentally recouping from the weight cut, mentally getting out of my own way.
mentally recoup.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, one word to describe how you felt after the win.
One word. Can I just say on top of the world?
Yeah,
I felt like I
that's
was on
fine.
top of the world.
On
It's
top
it's
of
so
the world.
surreal. It's so surreal. It's like living a dream for real.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's really cool. It's crazy that this is my life, bro. I be saying it like I was out there. I'm like, bro, this is my life, dog. Like I get to live this.
That's crazy to think about, right?
Yeah,
All right. So, who's someone that deserves a shout out for this win?
I gotta give this one to my wife. She holds it down. She doesn't get enough credit. She does a lot behind the scenes. We sacrifice a lot. Not even just for this camp, just in general, we sacrifice a lot, and I think that's why it feels so surreal to me. I'm finally getting paid for it, and we spent a lot of years only being able to get necessities, only have necessities. Like, how excited I am about this PlayStation because this is like the first time I get to do, something for myself that's not like rent, bills, like so serious. Like and she's made a lot of sacrifices for my dream as well. So
Yeah.
I definitely a shout out for my wife.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to the wifey.
Yeah.
So, what's one piece of advice you'd give to younger fighters coming up?
You have more than you think you have in you. So don't give up when it gets tough. Just keep pushing. Life is just, I mean, martial arts is just like life. It's a whole lot of problem solving. I feel like in on the mats, in real life, bad things, good things, sad things, things are going to happen. It's just about how you look at it, how you attack it, and how you persevere through it. You're resilient, and like I said, you got more in you than you think you have, and that's what everything. It's sports and life, everything.
Word. That's good. I love that. Steph, I appreciate you coming on fresh off of your TKO victory. And yeah, I can't wait to see the next fight.
Thanks for having me on, Coach. I appreciate you.